That's my Saturday morning activity. Read the board packet.
Oh, it's district engineering.
Read the paper.
And district engineering here.
Good evening. I'm District Secretary Nancy Gamble Hatfield, and today is Tuesday, July 9th. This is a special meeting of the Dublin San Ramon Services District Board of Directors. Presiding this evening is President Bob Benson.
Hello, and please join me. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please join me with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Here. Here.
Vice President Bonino Leopold.
Here.
President Benson.
Here. Okay, special announcements, item number 4.
Nothing tonight, President Benson.
Okay, on to number 5, public comment. Any blue cards? Nope. Okay, we'll go to item 6, reports. Reports by the general manager and staff.
Yes, President Benson and members of the board, a few quick things. Today I attended the change of command ceremony at Camp Parks. Now Colonel James was relinquishing command, which was assumed by Lieutenant Colonel Chris Gerdes. It was a very, very moving ceremony. If you've ever been to those change of command ceremonies, it's steeped in Army tradition. It's pretty cool. The thing I'd like to report is in his departing remarks, Colonel James had a lot of very nice things to say about district staff and your folks in particular, Dan, being good neighbors on base and doing a great job. So he was he went out of his way to say that. I don't even know if he knew I was in the audience. I was glad to hear him say that. At the staff table tonight, it looks a little different than it has in the last few weeks over here. Michelle Gallardo is now sitting in for Mary Gordon. Today is Mary's first official day of retirement, so welcome, Michelle. And then you know Dan, of course, and Karen Baden is sitting in for John Archer, who normally sits in for Lori Rose. And Dora sitting in for Dave, who's also on vacation. Then you'll note a familiar face on the far end, Mr. Maddow is filling in for Carl Nelson, although I understand Carl is doing double duty today. He doesn't have the pleasure of being on vacation any place.
He's at a board meeting.
A little different table today. The other thing I'd like to do is remind you that tomorrow morning is a meeting of the Alameda County Special Districts Association. President Benson will be attending, and immediately following that, and this cues off an item on your agenda, will be the vote for the LAFCO representative. That's conducted by a different organization, the Independent Special Districts Association, which is very similar to the other one. It's the same people, but organized as a different body, and President Benson will be there to cast the vote. And the last thing I would note is that in August 21st to 24th in particular, CASA, California Association of Sanitation Agencies, is holding their summer conference in San Diego. A fairly easy destination to get to, all things considered, and a fairly efficient one to get to. If anybody's interested in attending, let Nancy know. The reservations period is open, and she can make the travel, hotel, and registration and confirmations for you. And I would note that we have no correspondence to or from the board since the last time you met. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Any agenda management? No? Okay, on to number 7, approval of minutes, regular meeting of June 18th, 2013. Do I hear a motion? Okay, I hear a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. So moved. Okay, number 8, consent calendar. Do I hear a motion?
President Benson, before you do that, before every board member, there's a resolution and what's called a certificate of determination for a categorical exemption. It's related to item 8C on the consent calendar. The one you have before you is a replacement. Basically, one very, very small typo in there. You can best see it on the certificate of determination, the one that has a DSRSD logo on it. Way at the bottom of the page is a reference to a government code or Sequoia State Guidelines section 15061B.
No, it's 1530.
Thank you, Renora. 15309.
should have been
It's
E, not A.
not A, so for the record.
Okay.
I would like to pull item B.
You'd like to pull item B, okay? So we will,
I would like to make a move for approval of items 8A, C, D, E, and F.
okay. Second. All in favor? Okay,
And just to
so
clarify, your motion was with an alternative.
with an alternative, yes. Okay, so item B, approve technical services agreements with MCK Services and MCE Corporation for sewer manhole and water valve box adjustment project FYE 2014-15.
Yes, the reason for my asking that it be pulled, I happen to know one of the companies, so I just, in reading through my package earlier this afternoon, I looked at the proposal, and I noticed that there was no performance bond required. And I looked at this, at the other company's proposal, and they didn't have it either. And then I went to our district issued RFP, and we did not ask for it. And unless I'm wrong, a services agreement is no different than a construction contract. And by public contract code, we are required to require a separate performance bond and payment bond on every such contract.
We issue purchase orders for these, and our purchase orders, and normal things that's required in there as a bond for performance. The thing about these is, it's a little difficult in saying, this is how many valves and manholes you're going to replace for the year. So instead of including it as part of the entire agreement, we request that, it's a PO requirement, we request that when we determine how many really get replaced. So we do an annual contract for the year with an estimate, but when we find out what the cities are going to do in terms of their roadway improvements, that's when we set those requirements. And then issue the purchase orders with those, with the proposals that they have on a per manhole, per valve basis.
So you issue a separate PO for each and every
Yeah.
work order, so to speak?
Yeah, because the cities, they don't decide a year or two ahead of time how many.
Right, I'm familiar with service
Yeah.
agreements. I just wasn't aware that if you're requiring a payment bond, why don't you require a performance bond? There's no extra charge for that. They can provide.
It's part of the purchase order general terms, so that's included in the
I think what you're saying is that the purchase order will be required when we issue the purchase order. The payment bond will be required when we issue the purchase order.
Okay, but a performance bond guarantees the performance that they'll do the work. And
For
the
those-
payment bond merely guarantees that they're going to pay the bills. So if you want them to do the job, I would think, and again, it's not a big deal to me. I'm just saying that it doesn't cost the district any money at all extra to ask for performance bond, and you're guaranteed that they will, whether they do one manhole or 15 during the course of, it doesn't, it's no skin off our nose, so to speak.
I mean, it's something to take, in future, that's,
Yeah, we'll put that in there.
if that's what you're pointing out.
It sounds like the payment bond is handled under 1A of the general agreement. I know this isn't fair to that out because you're paying. This is our sticker paper, right? So,
I'm sorry,
I said,
Yes.
So this is our paper.
Yes, it is. And what you're doing, Director Halkett, is you're setting up the framework under which work will be ordered on a task basis. And it is not a classic public works contract approach. I recognize that, and I believe that's consistent with what the general manager and believe that you're covering all of the bases. I'm not sure that I understood one thing you said, Radora, and that is the bond that is required under the purchase order is a payment bond? Is that correct?
I believe it's a performance bond.
I think it's paid on, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the agreement says-
Payment bond is included in the agreement, but the purchase order has a separate terms and conditions that they have to conform to.
Which includes the requirement that there be a performance bond.
Yes.
So at the front end, which is the document that the board members have before them tonight, there is a requirement for a payment bond that is based upon, as I understand it, the value of the estimated price of the bid price. But the job-by-job performance bonds will come via your purchase orders.
Yes.
So it's a little different because of the nature of the beast, I guess is the way I would say it. But both bonding requirements are met in the way in which the district contracts with these entities.
Oh, I don't disagree. I mean, if you are asking for a performance bond at the time that you
Yeah.
issue a PO, that's great. In every agency we've ever dealt with, they want that performance bond and payment bond acknowledged up front so that there's not going to be question. I can't think of a single surety that would refuse to give your contractor a performance bond for that purchase order. And again, it doesn't cost more any more at all because you get both bonds for the 1% or the 2% bond. You get them automatically. And I'm sure the surety company is saying, I wonder why they don't want a performance bond. They just provide a payment bond. I think I'm not an attorney, but having done this for so long, the thing that brought my attention is that you're getting coverage, a guarantee that the bills will be paid, but performance of actually doing the work is a separate issue. That's why the contract always requires two separate bonds. That's my input.
If we were to agree, when would be the time that we would review the process for purchase order? Or for inclusion of this upfront in a service contract?
If we were to change we typically look at our purchasing manual. Lori's not here, she's the author, every couple of 3 years. I don't know what cycle we're on right now. I want to say it's probably within the next couple of years a schedule to be looked at. And we're just kind of following that. If what you're asking for is, at what point would we ask for the performance bond, that depends on the pace of and how the city schedules it. It could be next month, it could be 6 months from now. That's what we say.
Suppose we wanted to change that.
If you wanted to change the process,
Yes.
then it would, if we didn't accelerate it, it would be, the next time it would be up for review, the purchasing procedure and policy would be up for review. It's got to be within the, I think it's about 2 years, Georgie, only because every policy is reviewed every 4 years, and I don't remember it being reviewed in the last couple of years. So sometimes it was a couple of years, I guess. Now, that's not to say that we have to, but that's just the normal schedule.
So these agreements are for the next 2 years, and so we can work on revising the agreements in the future for incorporation.
Well, I think he brings up a valid point. Maybe it's something we should, if the industry's normal way of doing it is up front within the first thing, then, having it up front certainly wouldn't change anything, and it would certainly make Mr. Doherty a little bit more comfortable with the process.
Tell you the truth, we don't even, staff doesn't even need to go through the formality of, having you revise the policy. For something like this, that's an improvement in the process, frankly, we'll look into it and work with legal counsel, we'll just do it.
Okay, that sounds good.
The purchase orders, the board doesn't need to do. So this is our chance right here.
Yeah, authorize.
So perhaps as you consider this, part of your motion might be to direct staff to, in the future, in matters like this, to ask for the performance bond.
Okay, do you want to make a motion, Director Gorton?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
What do you say? I'll say.
Okay, so the motion I hear is to direct staff to ask for for a performance bond and to approve this contract, including a performance bond?
I would suggest
Future.
to modify our procedure.
Modify our procedure to include a performance bonds in future contracts.
I think that's it.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I seconded it.
Oh, did Pat second? Did you second?
Georgine.
Georgine second, okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, so now we're on to number 9, board business, approve the district's new logo. And that's Michelle.
Watchley Foods.
Okay.
It's choice. The graphic designer is going to show us what we.
Take it
what it's gonna
away,
look like.
Sue and team, Sue and company.
So Harrison, we took a look at the logo. There were a couple of requests, and one of them was we could see some color variations. So the first two were two options presented before, and this third one, which actually looks kind of purple on the screen, it's actually deeper blue. That was another option I presented. So I think when you look at the swirl, because it's a darker color, seems to dominate a little more. If you want the drop to pop out more, then 1 and 3 provide a darker background and more contrast. 3 sort of has also a darker swirl than 1. I know you commented that the green on 1 maybe was a little bright for you, so I've deepened that color. And so 3 is kind of a hybrid, incorporating some of the requests that you
Hey, Joyce, should the board be looking at the paper version or the screen version for the truer colors of what you're recommending?
it's like this screen is different than my screen even.
What about the paper?
Go with paper, yeah.
What about the paper?
Or actually even the iPad that Nancy's got, I don't know. Is that true? That's probably closer, yeah. I think the printing, because it depends on which printer it came off of. How it looks.
That kind of brings up a point.
Yeah, what happens is that, once it's actually printed using inks, then, that's fine. But we got a new printer, new laser printer, and that color is very different than the laser printer that's sitting in this client.
Part 3 is dark blue,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark blue and
which I
dark
like the
green.
dark blue.
Yeah.
Dark blue and dark green, it's not that
Yeah, dark
white
green.
line.
So I wonder if I don't think that's the same.
Yeah.
My concern.
Because why would this, if a color printer should pick up the red or the purple?
Joyce, just look at this.
Okay.
This is what they're looking at compared to what you have on the screen.
Yeah, this is actually a lot darker.
And look at the green though.
Yeah. I mean, it's,
See, the green on the screen, 1 and 3 are the same.
yeah, I would say probably with the screen is looking more like what I was thinking at, and I would emulate from these photos. That's just the.
I like the printed one here. I don't like mine on the screen.
Concern is that it
I like
kind of look
the green.
consistent.
Yeah, and so,
Yeah.
I can,
I like
I
it.
consistency when it's printed, because I'll spec the dates.
Oh.
Consistent with them. What you can see on their screens is always.
Then if it goes up on the web.
Yeah, that's why I kind of voted for something a little more contrasting, which was, number 1 initially, just because you can see that's much brighter. Blue. Or, 2 also has very much contrast.
But I think it's like number 3 on the speaker.
Yeah.
This one, this color.
With the dark green and the dark blue.
Yeah, those kind of blend together a little bit.
Yeah, I don't like dark on dark. That's more of the dark and light. Either way, otherwise when the contrast looks there's good.
Yeah, but if you look at the color on the dark, I just think it looks really nice. I think that looks nice.
We like our printed one.
Okay.
Yeah, we like her printed one.
All right, yeah, it's just that there has to be a little more contrast on that. It's a little, not going out, when you look at the iPad, you want to
Yeah.
yeah, that's closer to paying attention.
think we're to the point where we spend a couple dollars, get real samples ready. Printed, get a couple first, get a.
So what it would look
It's
like?
fine if it's these three layouts, but spend some ink and get some more. So.
Yeah.
And I think
Because this
Something
is,
that'll be real.
right.
And I think it's close, yeah, I mean,
You
that.
see, like in here you have a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's, I think this is what, 3?
Actually, you can see now, that one is the sample of black and white. You can see this printer is very, very far off because this is actually gray.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're well, I mean,
Yeah, it's-
this, in my opinion, I think we're on our way. I like the tagline, I like the concept, and if we want to do colors, I prefer to do colors
With the true colors.
Okay, all right. let's do that.
Okay, so the colors are going to be placed on letterheads, uniform tattoos, side of the truck,
Sign up front,
side of the
like banners.
And you can, and you specify some color combinations. You do numbers or something to specify.
Yeah, I could standardize the colors.
Okay,
So
right.
everybody's supposed to mix.
Joyce, did you mean for the swirl on number 3 to be in different directions than the other 2?
Oops, oh my, okay. Yes, 1 and 2 are the correct ones. One of which
Oh, yeah,
direction is the swirl.
We did the whole Coriolis thing last time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So like 2 would yes, like 2.
Because, I mean, they look different.
Yeah, they look different. They look different up there than they do on
Yeah,
here.
so
Joyce, why don't you come back with a couple of versions that are anticipated?
No, just small.
Just gonna be a significant change for the application, see what's really going on.
Yeah, but you don't want to put a lot of, we just want to look at the ink color.
I know, but if you come up with something, I'm afraid if you come up with something this big.
Yeah.
So just something like this.
I trust that. Bring us the proper materials so we can make the decision.
First one, where are we going to see this the most? Inside the trucks?
The website will have everything that has our logo on
The
it.
trunks,
We'll
the
have
stationery,
Patches.
Forms,
Yeah.
all kinds of.
booklets,
I think it actually is cool in the market, so you just get the color.
yeah.
All right, well, almost there.
What's the, is there an action?
That's number 3.
So I think this is,
Another review.
Actually, I think we set this one up to actually approve by motion.
approved, right.
So we'll bring this one back.
Yeah, bring it back. Okay. All right, so staff has our comments. Thank you very much, and we'll look forward to you again. Okay, moving right along, board business 9B, casting districts vote for Alameda County Local Agency Formation Commission, AKA LAPCO, special district and alternate representative at the Independent Special District Selection Committee meeting of July 10th, 2013.
Mr. President Benson, members of the board, if I could sort of boil this down pretty quickly, because it's kind of a complex matter procedurally, but basically tomorrow, the various special districts in Alameda County will be voting for their LAFCO, the alternative LAFCO representative. It's a complicated voting process. Your board policy as it relates to this is a little bit complicated because of the relative timing of this, but the bottom line is, the matter was, there's 3 candidates. You endorsed Vice President Barbecue Leopold for one of the seats. Tim Becker, who's a board member at Orloma Sanitary District, is a candidate for one of the seats. And Luis Andrade is a board member at the Hayward Area Parks and Recreation District. Is one of the candidates. The External Affairs Committee met just before this meeting, and they can speak for themselves, but they're recommending that the order of preference, and I'll get to why that's important in a minute, be first Director Barbecue Leopold, second Director Duarte, Andrade, Director Andrade, and third Director Becker from Orloma. It's important to have them in that order because the way the ballots are cast, it's a series of ballots and people drop off the bottom, so if your person drops off, you have to move who's next in line. So anyways, that's our recommendation, and it's really the full board's prerogative to endorse that.
Okay. Okay, any questions?
No, I just, Ed and I looked at this, and of course, we support George wholeheartedly. And then our second choice was Lewis and Dottie. And, but no, they're all great people, fine candidates.
Yeah, I was a little surprised about outside of the utility domain.
He's an incumbent, right? The difference there is Andrade's the incumbent, Tim Becker's the utility. One's an enterprise district first, one's an enterprise district first. They're both good people. So neither one's a bad choice, so.
These are instructions for Don's voting, and of course, having been through this, you must allow the president to have a little discretion if things don't go as planned, and things go. Only 3 candidates, it can't
Yeah.
be 2 stories.
Can't go too
Well,
bad.
one of the reasons is they don't have a process, Rich didn't get done. So they have this funny process of just re-voting again. They don't drop the lowest vote off the bottom, they just vote again, which of course it doesn't change. I think we went through 3 of those votes last time.
Yeah, they seem to, just to warn you, I went
Thank
through
you.
last time,
They just keep voting.
unless they change their bylaw, they don't have, the process is not as formal as the general manager surmised. They
That
don't.
was written down at one point. I
Maybe
had no
Contra
idea
Costa,
what
but
happened.
Alameda, it was kind of free for all, so they kept bringing people. So obviously, 2 things are happening. They don't have a formal process. It's not following it. 2, the other people in the room aren't as bound as we are, because obviously we get out of there at some point, so somebody changed their vote.
So-
Stick it in our order. Let's wait till like if we have to. Hopefully, Georgie wins.
Perfect, very good.
But yeah,
So
be
who's
ready
going to
to
be there
get
tomorrow? Are
through.
you going, and Director Dorothy, are you going? You're going. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the update.
Do we need a motion?
And so the motion,
A motion would be appropriate, but technically you don't need one. No action except sales.
I move we accept the recommendation as stated by External Affairs, our good friends and colleagues.
and that's Georgine first, Louis Andrade second, and Timothy Becker third. Do I hear a second? Second from
Multiple
Director
seconds,
Mark.
all right.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so moved and off we go. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Okay, submittal of written reports, travel and training. We'll start with Director Howard.
Well, let's see, I have no written report. I just wanted to let you know that I missed the next regularly scheduled board meeting. I'll be attending my granddaughter's 21st birthday.
Very good.
Tahoe, and that's 21. I just But yeah, there will be a lot of fun, but I won't be here for that meeting. Cool. Enjoy it.
Okay, so that's next week.
That's the next regular scheduled meeting.
So that's on the 16th.
16th.
Okay. All right. Anything, Director? Nothing? Director Duarte? Vice President? Your vehicle?
Well, you and I attended the East Bay Leadership Council, which I'm sure we're going to get a request pretty soon to join. Was the reception. This was.
We already have an already processed date.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously,
Okay.
we thought it was a good thing. We've been historically, but not for the last couple of years, members of the Tri-Valley Business Council, but it's sort of fallen by the wayside. The Contra Costa Business Council has always been pretty busy, but someone there felt it was important to think about jointly doing things, because as most of us have recognized over the years, we have much more in common with this side of the hill in Contra Costa County than we do with the other side of the hill. So they want to make the best of that, and form this leadership council that will be doing business involvement with special district information, government information, and trying to keep the businesses apprised of the politics of things. So obviously, Bert thought it was important and he already joined. We said he should, so
Yep. So-
anyway.
So we did it. All right, good. Well, yeah, that was good. And then we also And, let's see, anything else?
I have a couple other things, but it's really
Go
not
ahead.
a meeting. I can ask now. I mean, it wasn't on attendance or anything.
No, that's fine.
Okay. The agenda for the San Francisco Bay Region Water Quality Control Board has item number 6, Danforth Holding Company LLC, Dublin Ranch Track 8016, located off Sidonia Court. Why would they be on the Regional Water Quality Control Board?
I'm not sure, Dan, you've been watching them, do you know, I can speculate a couple of
It
it.
is into this road that occurred last December there. Actually, Laura's one good, it's not that regional board meeting.
Okay, because it says referral to the Attorney General, so it sounds like a lawsuit of some
It's
sort.
enforcement, so I think there
It's
are violations.
enforcement.
Okay.
What happened was, they conducted, unauthorized work without a district inspector on a weekend, and, they overflowed the sanitary sewer manhole when they were flushing the water system. And, I'm not sure if the water went into the creek.
Yeah, the water actually did get to make its way to the creek.
So, Regional Water Quality Control Board has to come over that, so.
Okay.
Even though they were flushing water main, because it came in contact with a live sewer that was serving a number of homes that was contaminated by sewage, so it was reported as a sanitary sewer.
What's our relationship with
We provided them with an construction permit, but the requirement is that they contact us when we do construction work on the water and sewer. So,
I think there's a list.
well, we've also, for the overflow, we've issued fines for them also. And,
I'm sorry, what?
we've issued fines for them.
Oh, okay.
For violating our requirements.
Because the action is to adopt resolution authorizing referral to the Attorney General. Okay.
So I will be at that meeting to find out.
Okay. Well, that's just a company I had not heard of before in Dublin, and me, I usually keep track of all those.
Actually, that is a company that is a subsidiary of the Links.
Oh, really? Okay.
Jim Tom.
Thank you.
Okay. Sure. No, that's fine.
As most of you know, Claudia McCormick has been cleaning up Tom's history stuff. And of course you would know that he has stuff related to DSRSD. So here's the patch for the fire department of DSRSD. Here's the patch for the Doherty Regional Fire Department. Wow. Oops, I showed you here. And then I have 2 badges. One for a firefighter for VCSD, and one for a firefighter for Dublin San Ramon Fire Department. So these are cool. Technically, I suppose they should go here, but at the moment they'll be with Dublin stuff. So. And I also have some articles that, unfortunately, not all are dated, but here's the first fireman hired in 1962 was Jim Warrender. Valley Community Services District has hired its first paid fireman, Jim Warrender. Warrender has served as a volunteer assistant, blah, 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 blah. And then here's a new fire truck purchase. Unfortunately, this is not dated, but this is the green ones in the days when somebody thought they were cool. And then this is for the volunteer fire department. And this is the poor gentleman who burned down the Fallon house. For which he got demoted. So anyway, I just thought you guys would enjoy those.
Yeah, that is cool. I think we should have that here.
Yeah, well, as soon as we have a historical thing out front that people can see.
Well, why don't you just do that? Shadow box, that's exactly what I'm saying. So why don't you,
Because they lose it.
Oh, here. They would lose it here?
Yeah, yes. The scrapbook is lost. I had to break arms to get it for, so, but if you put in a shadow box out front, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it would be all contained then. Maybe you can work with staff on.
I just don't, if I ask to see it, to show to somebody, I don't want somebody to say, we don't know what it did.
Well, it could be a display that you could manage.
Why don't we do it with Historical Society? Why don't we do it, on loan?
On loan to us.
Okay.
It'll be a self-contained
Yes.
item that you can.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
There we go.
It's an auxiliary.
So we can tell the city
Yes.
that we have an exhibit at DSRSD. I love that, okay.
Speaking of which, I have your books in my car that I'm going to give to you.
Oh, cool, okay.
I found some books from 1999. So anyway, so that,
Cool. Anyway, that's a.
thank you for. I also too had enjoyed the East Bay Leadership Council. I thought it was very fun and very welcoming, and Hope, thanks for joining. I'm glad that the California Youth and Energy Services, if anybody who lives in Dublin, please take advantage of this. I've worked with this program for a long time, and it's a great leadership program, and the people that run it are very dedicated. And with that, I'd like to also congratulate Georgine on her retirement that we all attended, so that was really nice. And so now she can spend more time here. Working on some of our
Just what
stuff.
they want. Nothing like a retired director.
And I think I just want to say thank you to Elkridge for your hosting of a nice little going away for Mary. And welcome staff, welcome Michelle and Karen and Fedora as always. So with that, I want to also end the meeting with the memorial to all those involved in the Asiatic flight mishap this past weekend in San Francisco, and that they are in our prayers and thoughts as they go back to living normal lives, or moving forward with their lives. So with that, I adjourn the meeting.
I was gonna add one, if we could,
Oh,
since we
you
had
wanna
a
add-
history in fire, if we could add a comment about the 19 fire.
Oh, I meant to do that
Died
too.
in Arizona.
And also Colorado Springs. My old hometown and my old area was hit with 400 and something firefighters, and that was where I used to live in Black Forest. And also the 19 firefighters in Arizona. So we all our blessings are with that. We will adjourn.
Yeah, there's some rules, some laws.